Hello, my dear students. This is Miss Chawan. I'm going to explain another lesson online. I hope you to understand and listen carefully, study a lot. This lesson is talking about adding and subtracting mixed numbers, which is in page 172 to 179. So I write the explanation of the lesson. I wrote the explanation of the lesson in 5 steps. So the first step, always remember that the denominators must be equal. So you need to make the denominators equal in any possible ways. So you can use mental math by changing the smaller denominator to the bigger one by multiplication, or you can find least common denominator or least common multiple in another minute. To make them equal, and be careful also. In number 3, I wrote that when you multiply the denominator, do not forget to multiply the numerator also. So when we write the multiplication, this number, the top by 2, for example, the bottom by 2, rewrite the example, solve the multiplication. You need to rewrite the example, but this time solve just the multiplication. Number 5, add or subtract the whole numbers together, because here we have mixed numbers, and you know that in mixed number we have a whole number first and then a fraction. A whole number, it's been a normal number, a number's own number. Please add or subtract them and then go to the fraction to add or subtract the fractions. And you know that how to add or subtract the fraction in the previous lesson. You're going to add the top or subtract the top and then rewrite the the denominator the same. Always the denominator should be the same. Add or subtract the top. Move on to the examples. For adding mixed numbers, I solved for you 4 examples. The first example, I wrote it in full explanation. So I have 3 1 on 8 plus 1 3 on 4. So 3 and the 1, they are the whole numbers, and the others are the fractions. Together we're going to form mixed numbers. When you want to solve this example, the most important thing is that you need to equal the denominators. These two, this one is 8 and the other one is 4, so you need to make them equal by using mental math in this case, because we can change the smaller number to the bigger number by using multiplication. So 4 times which number equals to 8? Here I wrote times 2. So 4 times 2 equal to 8. So I'm going to rewrite the example by multiplying it to 2. And do not forget that you need to multiply the top also by the same number of the denominator. Then you need to rewrite the example, this time solving the multiplication. So 3 1 8 is the same, plus 1, this time 3 times 2 equals to 6, 4 times 2 equals to 8. Now both denominators are equal. We can easily plus it, but first plus the whole numbers, these 2, 3 and 1. So you don't need to plus all of them together. First plus the 3 and the 1 together. 3 plus 1 equals to 4, and then plus the fractions. So in adding the fractions, we need to write the denominator the same. Check. You already draw the line. So 1 plus 6 equals to 7. So the final answer is 4 7 8, or 4 7 on 8. Okay. In the second example, I wrote it in a shorter than the first one, the way that we solve it inside the classes. So here we have 1 2/5 plus 2 5/10. This time we need, again, first step, the important step is to change the 5 to 10. Change the 5 to 10. So you can use a multiplication to change it. Again, it's multiplied by 2. It's not supposed to be always 2. Be careful, the number is going to be changed. Sometimes 2, 3, 4, any number, you can use it to change the smaller denominator to the bigger denominator. So by multiplying it to 2, we're going to change the 5 to 10, and be careful, multiply the top also by 2. Then rewrite the example. Here we rewrite the example 1 1. Do not forget the whole number. So the top 2 times 2 is 4, 5 times 2 is 10, plus rewrite the other number 2 5 on 10. Now you need to plus them. Like I said, first you're going to plus the whole numbers together. 1 plus 2 3, and then write the denominator the same. 4 plus 5 plus just the top, or minus just the top. 4 plus 5 equals to 9, and the denominators should be the same. Move on to the third example. Here it's easier, this one, because 5 3/7 or 3 on 7 plus 2 1/7. You see that both denominators are equal, so you don't need to do anything, just plus them. 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, we plus the whole numbers, and then we're going to write the denominator the same. 7 7 7. The top, 3 plus 1 equals to 4. We found the final answer. Number 4, it's not a special or like special case. It is just another type of writing the example. In number 4, we wrote the examples up to down. So don't scare that when you see this example, you see it's a different one. No, it's the same. We have 2 1 on 9 plus 1 2 on 3. So in this case, I wrote it here. Sometimes the example is in a column type, so no problem. Just solve it up to down using the same way. Or sometimes you can change it to a row. You can rewrite the example and then solve it. There's another option also. So here again, we need to equal the denominators. 3, the denominators are 3 and 9. So we're going to change the 3 to 9 by multiplying it to 3. So do not forget to multiply the top also. In this case, it's equal to this one. I wrote inside the brackets. 1, the same. 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 3, 9. And then let's plus these two together. 2 and 1, 3. 1 and 6, 7, 9 and 9, 9, still 9, because the denominator should be the same. This is the additions. The homework is at the last page. Let's move on to subtraction. Subtracting mixed numbers. Okay, the first example is the easiest one because the denominators are equal. So just minus the whole numbers. 2 minus 1 equals to 1. Then move on to the fractions. You see that the 6 and 6 denominators are equal, so just write 6. 5 minus 4 equals to 1. So you need to minus the top, write the bottom the same, and the whole numbers minus them separately. So 2 minus 1 equals 1, and then go to the fraction to minus them. The second example, I have 5 3 on 4 minus 2 1 on 8. So in this case, the denominators are 4 and 8. So I need to change the 4 to 8. So I need to multiply it by 2. Be careful, multiply the top by 2 also. So rewrite the example. 5, the same. 3 times 2, 6. 4 times 2, 8. Minus 2 1 on 8, the same. Equal. 5 minus 2, let me say first, minus or plus the whole numbers together. You can do like me. You can circle the whole numbers, so you can minus or plus them first. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, and then come to the fractions. Look at the denominator, they are equal, so 8 8 8, the same, minus the top. 6 minus 1 equals to 5. Let's move on. Number 3, this one we have 4 3 on 4 minus 1 1 on 3. The multiplications, we cannot change the 3 to 4 or 4 to 3. Okay, so in this case, like we learned it before, we need to find least common denominator, which you know it by least common multiple, for the 3 and for the 4. So we're going to go 3 by 3 and 4 by 4. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 4, 8, 12. So we will stop at 12. Now both denominators will be 12. So we're going to again go to the first example. How 4 became to 12? How 3 also we can change it to 12? Okay, by multiplications. So change the 4 to 12 by multiplying it to 3. Change the 3 to 12 by multiplying it to 4. Be careful, multiply the top also, and then rewrite the examples here for the same. Okay, we cannot change the mixed number, and then 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12. Both denominator now is 12. The other one, write the one the same. 1 times 4 is 4. Now we have the correct example. Both denominators are equal, so we're going to minus the normal number or whole numbers together. 4 minus 1 equal to 3. Write the denominator the same. 9 minus 4 equals to 5. So we have some example like this. In the book, actually in the homework, we have 2 examples like this number 3. You need to find least common denominator for them. It's 2 examples, so be careful. I solve one of them for you now here, so you can remember how to use least common denominator. It's the same, just we have two teeny like numbers. That's okay, just minus or plus them separately. Okay, separately. Number 4 and number 5. Listen carefully for these 2 examples. There's a trick in these 2 examples, so you need to know how to solve it. Number 4, we have 2 minus 1 3 on 8. So one of the fractions are missing. One of the fractions is missing. What should we do to create a fraction? Okay, so we need a fraction to minus it with the fraction. We cannot say 2 minus 1 is 1 and write the 3 on it back again. You need a fraction to minus it with the fraction, and the whole number with the whole number. So for creating a fraction, I wrote here. In this case, we need to rename the whole number by taking 1 from it. Rename it, this means changing it. By taking 1 from it, it means minus 1 from the number. If it was 2, become 1. If it was 3, become 2. If it was 4, become 3. 5, become 4. Okay. The one you're going to give it to create a fraction. Okay, you need to create a fraction. So always when you take 1, the 2 of course remain in 1, and you take 1, the 1 will be here. Any whole number, the denominator is 1. You already know this. Okay. If we want to minus it with this one, 1 3 on 8, we need the denominators to be equal. But how do you can change the 1 to 8 by multiplying it to 8. So you need to multiply the top also by 8. So in this case, oh, look at that 8. It's 8, okay? So you're going to rewrite it like here. I rewrite it 1 1. This one will be 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 8 is 8. So done. We have another fraction. So always take a number from this number. Okay, take 1 from it. Take 1 from it. All right. And then rewrite the example, creating the other fraction. This is how you're going to create the fraction. Okay. So now we have 1 8 on 8 minus 1 3 on 8 equals 1 minus 1. It's 0. So we're not going to write 0. We're not going to write 0. Okay. 1 minus 1. We don't have any whole numbers. So the top 8 minus 3 is 5. The bottom 8 still 8. Another example like this, 3 minus 1 2 on 6. What should we do? We need to take 1 from the 3, become 2. The 1 will be beside it to form a fraction. Under it again will be 1. And you need to change this to the denominators to 6. So multiply by 6. Again multiply by 6. And then you're going to get 1, 2, 6 on 6. Okay. So this is the way that how to solve this type of example, and it's not a lot. There's just a few examples like this in the book, but you know to know how to solve it, you know to learn it. Also in the book they mentioned using a fraction bars, the drawing thing, the coloring thing. We're not going to use that because we have multiplication. It's really good for solving these type of examples. So again, 2 6 on 6 minus 1 2 on 6. 2 minus 1, we're going to minus the mixed numbers separately, equals to 1. 6 minus 2, the top is 4 and the bottom will be the same. So be careful in this type of examples. Okay, and for number 3, also be careful, you need to use this common denominator, and the rest of the examples just change the smaller denominator to the bigger denominator. Okay, if you have any problem, just you can call me, you can text me, it's okay. Listen to the video again and again and again. You're going to understand better. All right, so I gave some homeworks. Please, you need to do your homework. It's very good for understanding. You can listen to the video again and again. So sometimes when you look at a movie, you're going to say, oh, that movie was really nice, but when you look at it again and again, you're going to see some stuffs you never saw it. How? Because by watching the video or the movie again and again, you're going to hear the details, look at the details in it, so you can use this video again and again. Okay, the homeworks are in page 174 and 179. I hope you to understand this lesson carefully, study and solve the homeworks. Please stay healthy and stay home, please. Bye bye.